Hi guys, Tim Kratiris here and welcome back to Ask Anything. We'll get stuck straight into it because we've had a lot of questions come through our social channels and I want to make sure I can get through a lot of the content. So first of all, we had a great few questions from Tanja and she asked, how do I make my page sticky? So what do we mean by sticky? Sticky is when people, when they come to the page, they want to connect, they want to stay connected, they want to keep returning. So I'm going to go through some of the basics, and some of the basics are have relevant content. So if you don't know who you're targeting, you're in a lot of trouble. You really need to know the niche you're trying to attract, how you're going to attract them, and how you keep the content flow relevant and consistent. So that's the first thing. The second thing is how to converse with your community. So how do you like to respond? How do they like you to respond? What sort of conversations are they looking to engage with you? What sort of content's working that spark conversations? How are you helping that community out? When you've got that mixture of things, the community does become sticky. They want to keep visiting you. They want to keep conversing with you, they keep engaged, they share, and they help grow your pages. So one of the people who do it really, really well is Gene Simmons from KISS. Check him out on his social channels. He's someone who's constantly connecting with his target market, constantly talking to people, constantly giving them a reason to come back and speak to him. When you can get that sort of engagement, and he's an expert at it, not just with social media, but you've seen his entire career. This guy's a genius. You know, everything from KISS as the band to all the other enterprises, he does it really well. So if you need some help in this area, follow people like him, see how he does it and replicate it for your niche. The second thing that Tanja asked was, how do I find out what my ideal client wants to know? The simple answer is ask them. A lot of the time, we're all still getting used to the social aspect of social media, and it sounds ridiculous, but really the social aspect is be social. So the way that you treat your friends, the way you communicate with your offline communities generally is going to work pretty well online. So when you want something, ask them, ask for comments, ask for involvement. Just speak to them as though you are connected and you do have a friendship. Really disconnect yourself from it being a digital platform and not an offline platform. Because if it was offline and you're speaking to people, you'd ask questions. So what would you ask them if they were standing right in front of you? Work out that a computer screen is simply that, just a computer screen, but the conversation needs to occur the same way it would offline. The other way is to also become involved in other pages and forums. So when you're speaking to a target market, you really need to not just focus on your own pages, your own networks. You need to get involved in everyone else's. Look at relevant blogs, converse, read other people's content. Really get involved with not just your own. Don't become so self-centric that you forget that there's a whole wide world, and you really need to be social to everyone else as well. The other one is researching your target market. Really find out, what does that market want? What are their fears? What are their needs? What do they like to talk about? And you don't have to guess this because there is so much content on the internet. There's so much content flying through social channels. Make sure that you're becoming part of it all. Really, really engage with others. When you do that, they're going to engage with you. So that goes covering the third question that Tanja asked is, how do I keep them engaged and returning? Okay, so and she wrote, especially when their inbox is already full of EDMs from all different types of newsletters from different people in the industry. They've got so many platforms, so many different places to choose from. How do you really just, in essence, cut through the clutter? The only way to do that is to become more relevant. And what we say here at Servants is, look at your target market, look at your niche, and you need to carve out a piece of their lives that you become essential for. So the more refined you can find your niche, or the more refined you can deliver to your niche, the more likely they're going to stay connected and want to still stay connected to you. If you're trying to do or be everything to everyone, you're just going to be lost in all the noise and clutter. So if you have a specific industry focus, find out what part of that industry you're servicing and what part your company is going to play in their lives. When you focus on that, make sure you're the expert in that slither of that niche. Okay, so you can really niche down a niche. And I know you're probably sick of me saying niche, but there is so much information, so much noise, so much content flying around. You don't have the privilege or the opportunity to just be a generalist in anything. No one's looking for more generalists. We're looking for people who are targeting down to small niches and becoming extremely informative, extremely interesting, and serving a purpose in their clients' lives. Okay, so make sure you're adding additional value, and that way they will keep connecting to you. The way we like to say it here is you're running a little TV station or a little newspaper on your own. So you have to be interesting. So through the content, like on a TV show, if the ratings are down on a show, it gets canned. You must create interesting content that keeps people wanting to be engaged with you. So you have to fill that role in your niche market. Okay? The next question. If you were starting to connect with a brand new niche and really wanted to find out the biggest problems and challenges they had to face, how could you do that? So first of all, and we've covered it briefly already, you must become an expert in the niche market. You have to read other content. You have to look at other blogs. You have to be involved in other conversations. You're not suddenly going to decide, I would like to be the most prominent authority in social media in our case. Sorry, as a tram goes through in the background. So we can't just say we want to be that and become that. We have to start really being experts. So we're reading every blog. We're looking at people that we think have good thoughts, interesting thoughts, are looking for trends. So we're starting to follow the right type of people. There are so many different blogs, so many bits of information. Every single person that's coming out of university is starting their own blog and becoming an expert in something. But you have to drill down, get through the clutter and find some real key people to connect with, some key information, and find the ones that are really reputable. Who are the people that are actually consistently producing good content that you want to connect to? So that way you can be part of the right conversations. It's not a game of being part of every conversation, because that's just a complete waste of time. But if you find out the right people to be connected to and you can establish relationships there, you're going to go a lot further, a lot faster. So you have to become an expert in your niche market's fears, their problems, their interests, and their dreams. Because until you've done that, you actually can't connect with those people because you don't understand them. Just because you want to be part of a particular niche, if you don't actually get them, then you've got no place to be there. Okay? So to ensure you be part of it, just become an expert yourself. You have to commit time and energy on becoming a real player, which means that you know what's happening inside your niche. If you just don't get that, unfortunately, you're just not going to win this game. Okay, so next question. What would be the 3 top social media actions that you would take when you're breaking a new niche, or you've decided that you want to position yourself there for your business or your brand? The 3 things I would say is be consistent. Must be consistent. That means in content delivery, type of content, and every action that you do across all your platforms. The second one is be persistent. If you're not persistent with it and you give up after a few knocks, or things aren't traveling or growing as fast as you expect them to, most people will give up. It's the people that are consistent, that are persistent, that start to really get some traction in their markets. And the third one is you must be relevant. If you're not relevant, or you're spitting out content that was 12 months old that people aren't talking about now, it just shows that you don't understand the niche. It shows that you are not a trendsetter, you're another follower. And we don't need more followers in different industries. There's so much content that you'll just get lost. Now, Tanja, you asked for 3 different things. I'm going to give you 4. The 4th one is look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie. You have to start understanding analytics when you're dealing with social media. There are so many great metrics already built in. There are so many great information portals and ways of connecting and understanding. If you don't understand the numbers or what they mean, you're playing a game that you're going to lose. People on social media who want to get the best return on it understand the numbers. So make sure you get to understand the analytics, what they're saying, and how you can affect them and how you can make them grow for you. Okay, another question, and we're flying through this, we got was from Matthew. And he asked an interesting question. He said, when you're speaking to a community, should I reply from my business account or my personal account? Now, obviously Matthew's question's coming from a smaller business or someone brand new to social media. And a lot of the time, and we'll just assume it's a smaller business, a lot of the time when small business owners get into social, they're still me type brands. So they're the front of the business. They are their brand. So a lot of the time they speak from their personal accounts. They don't even open business accounts. We come at from, if you're going to be on social media and you've got a business, assume that you're trying to run a business. So I consider a business something that creates revenue if you're not working on it straight away. So a lot of these one-person armies or small businesses that are really jobs that you're running themselves, you've got to be a little bit careful to still act as though you're going to grow. So for instance, Matthew, if you're speaking to your community from your personal account, that means your entire life, there's no barrier between the sort of professional business and your personal life. So down the track, as you start to grow, you might decide that you actually aren't the person replying to everything on social media. You might be the person that's one of 4 people or 5 people in your team, especially if you're in a business that's going to require you at multiple locations. So you're not going to be replying to everything from your personal account. Now, if you've got a community that only connects to you, that's going to be a little bit of a problem as you transition. We always say you're going to grow this business. It's not just going to be a you business, a me brand. You're trying to grow this into a real commercial entity. So start dealing with it now on social as though it was. You can still be personal in the communications, but speak from the business. There's that level of professionalism still that you can enforce it from a business. And the other thing is, with social media, let's be honest, every so often you get a real whack job. You get someone that is just a lunatic, that wants to connect, that wants to be a troll. You really don't want to be dealing with that from your personal life. You want that to be a separate account run by the business. And that way, there's also that sort of consistency when you've got the other platforms that everyone knows it's your business and not just you. Because you know when friends and things can sometimes tag pictures of you that you may not want your business community to see. So if you're running everything through your personal account, that can get pretty awkward. So my suggestion would be reply from your business account when you're dealing with your business. In saying that, that doesn't mean your business can't still feature you. If you're a real small business or a me brand, or you're a real personality behind the brand, you can still focus and show that. But still the replies and the way you comment and the way you conduct yourself should be the business brand, even though it may closely reflect your personality, But yeah, let's keep it professional. Make sure people fall in love with the business as well as yourself. Okay guys, there was a few questions in there today, short and sweet. I hope you got some information out of it. Remember, we will answer anything about anything. We're specialising in social media, but we get a lot of questions about our values as a company, how we run our business, how we've managed to grow tenfold in the last 12 months. We want to be transparent, we want to share, and if we can, we really want to help you out. So ask anything every single Friday. I'll answer anything you want. Look forward to hearing from you. Make sure you connect. Feel free to click and sign up to our newsletter if you want some additional information. Look forward to chatting to you next week. See you later.